Mayday Helicopter Stories. Our mission is improve aeronautical safety in order to identify latent failures and effective monitoring of risk mitigation for the prevention of accidents, as well as expanding the knowledge of flight and maintenance personnel by announcing previous events.
On May 13, 2014, Heliboreal Inc. Heliboreal operated a charter flight for Hydro-Quebec using an AS-350BA helicopter. The objective of the flight was to survey for encroachment of vegetation along a 25 kV power distribution line in the area of Hydro-Quebec Sainte Marguerite Power Plant. At 0955, the pilot and an Hydro-Quebec employee, observer, departed to begin the distribution line survey flight. The survey was conducted at an altitude of about 50 feet above ground level along the right side of the road that was adjacent to the distribution line. While following the distribution line around a hill, the observer noticed the 315 kV power transmission line wires that crossed over and above the distribution line ahead. The observer indicated to the pilot that the survey was complete for that section. At that moment, the pilot noticed the transmission line straight ahead, running perpendicular to their flight path. The pilot immediately initiated a right turn to avoid a collision, but one main rotor blade hit one of the lower wires of the transmission line, was damaged, and this caused subsequent vibrations in the helicopter. The area under the transmission line was covered with mature trees, with a small cleared path approximately 6 meters wide directly below and parallel to the line. The pilot had limited control of the helicopter and attempted to slow the helicopter for a forced landing along the path. The helicopter's skid impacted the trees just short of the path, and the helicopter rolled to the left, descended into the trees, and came to rest on its left side. The cockpit was destroyed, and the pilot was suspended in the seat above the observer, who was in his seat against the snow-covered ground. The pilot quickly shut down the engine. Having been able to release both their seat belts, the pilot assisted the observer out of the wreckage. After locating the satellite phone, the pilot moved away from the helicopter to get a satellite signal and contacted Heliboreal's base at approximately 10:30. The pilot used a thermal blanket located in the helicopter to keep the observer warm. 15 minutes later, the pilot proceeded toward the road where an Hydro-Quebec vehicle was seen driving by about 150 meters away. The pilot managed to reach the road and met an Hydro-Quebec employee who was working nearby. In the meantime, Hydro-Quebec rescuers from the power plant were dispatched to the accident site, where they met the pilot at approximately 10:50. Both the pilot and the observer were transported to hospital with serious injuries. Thank you for subscribe.